be with me today. Hope you're doing well. Me, I'm doing fine. For today's video, I've got to make my friend a pecan pie. And I've already got the ingredients put out here. I'm going to read them off to you. If you need take time to get a pen and pencil, well, I do that while I turn my oven on. Okay, got that pen and paper? Alright, I'm going to read this off to you, and then we'll go back over them one by one. You need 1.5 cups of pecans. Now, as you know, when you get pecans out of a store, they're a year old or better, because they keep them in cold storage until the stores need them. And me, I get my pecans from Arms Family Homestead in Sulphur, Oklahoma. There's a gentleman down there that's got a pecan farm, and he raises them and brings them to Daniel, and Daniel sells them online. You can get it with shipping and everything. It costs about, probably about $4 more than it costs to get them in the store, Kroger's. But they're fresh because you can get them within 2 weeks of when they was picked. And I get them, they cost me $17 a pound, but they're fresh. They was only picked about 2 weeks or 3 before I got them, and they'll be considered a fresh pecan all the way into Christmas. However, I'll order 2-3 more pounds between now and then. So I'm getting fresh pecans all the time. Now, this pecan farm's in Oklahoma, and I forget how many hundreds of thousands of pounds that they pick and sell every year. They just got tired of going through the middle people, and they was only getting about $4 or $5 a pound on their end, and the middle people was making $4, $5, $6 a pound, and the store was making another $6, $7, $8 a pound, and they wanted a way to do it better. So him and Daniel worked out a deal, and they're selling them straight from the farm to the public. And it's a great product. I've ate several bags of them. Now, the first thing you need is 1.5 cups of pecans. Now, you don't want no more than 1.5 cups, but however, you can use 1 cup or 1.25 cups. It's whatever you prefer. And I always cut mine, I'll break them up into halves. The big ones I'll break up into quarters. Most of them's into quarters because these are fairly good sized pecans. And I go ahead and after I get them broke up, I put them in my pie shell. And we're going to pour the filling in on top of them. So it's 1.5 cups of pecans. The next thing you'll need is 3 eggs. You got to have 3 good fresh eggs. Then you'll need 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and a quarter cup of white sugar. Now what I always do, you can do it the way you want to do it. I put a quarter cup of my white sugar in the bottom of a measuring cup, and then I add 3/4 of pressed brown sugar. I pack it firm on top of that, and that gives me a full cup of sugar. 3/4 brown and a quarter white. Now, most people don't know why you have to put white quarter. Won't you just put another quarter cup of brown sugar? You can do that. However, it won't work as good because white sugar is a catalyst to brown sugar. It makes it do what it's supposed to do. You can get by with probably a tablespoon of white sugar, but this recipe calls for a quarter of a cup, so we use a quarter of a cup of white and a quarter of a cup of brown. Now, I always try to use Domino's sugar, whether it be white or brown, because over the years I found out that Domino's is a superior sugar when it comes to baking. Now, don't ask me why, because I don't know why. But I can make a candy with what I call store brand sugars and off brand sugar, and it don't make candy worth a nickel. I use Domino's, my candy comes out perfect every time. Okay, after the brown and white sugar, we got 4 tablespoons of stick butter, real butter, not margarine or not anything that's supposed to taste like margarine. It's got to be stick butter, and that'd be a half a stick of make 4 tablespoons. And right there you are. I melt it and I'll pour it right in. Once you get the butter, you'll need 3/4 cups of white or dark Karo syrup. Now that's for the normal recipe. We're not going to use either one of those. I'm making this for a special friend, and I'm going to use a quarter cup of 3/4 cup of maple syrup, pure maple syrup. Now you can use the 3/4 cup of dark Karo syrup, and it'll have a more of a molasses taste, and some people like that. Or you can use a cup of the white Karo syrup. It's made more of a vanilla-y taste and not as rich. Doesn't taste like molasses at all. Just got a rich flavor. Or you can use maple syrup. And when I want to make the best pie I can make, I use maple syrup for my friends. And of course I ask them their preference. And their preference usually is the maple syrup. Now it's 3/4 cup maple syrup. And I make my own vanilla. You gotta have a tablespoon of vanilla. That'd be 1 capful. And I use Smirnoff vodka. And if you look at your pure vanilla that you buy out of the store, it's made 99% alcohol, and they put the vanilla beans in it, if it's the pure stuff, and make it that way. So there you can see the vanilla beans in that bottle of vodka. Now the thing about it is, when that pie reaches 125 or 24 degrees, it will start evaporating that alcohol. And when it gets to 212 or before, that alcohol is going to be completely evaporated, because it goes right up into the air, and you're not drinking alcohol when you eat your pie. A lot of people don't realize that, but every alcohol, every pure vanilla that you put in to an ingredient that you're making, it's 99% alcohol. So I make my own, and I'm telling you, it's the best stuff ever was. And I've got it already fixed out here, cap full, tablespoon, and I've also got my butter melted, and I've got my cinnamon and salt here. I'm going to put that in right now so I can close them up, because I have a bad problem of spilling my cinnamon and salt. So I'm going to do that right in front of you. And there we go, that's the salt. And I'll set that over there, and I'll not bother it more, that way I can't spill it. And now I'm going to get my cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of each. Always undo the wrong side. You won't taste hardly the cinnamon at all, but it gives your pie a very good flavor, and you don't even know what's in there, except because you put it in there. Now, I'm getting ready to incorporate this all together. What I do first, if you follow along with me, you can take down the ingredients again if you missed any. I'm going to put my 3 eggs, a grade A large. I'm going to put 3 of them right in my bowl. And I'm going to set my bowl aside. And the first thing I'm going to do, and that's in with the salt and cinnamon, I'm going to whip them up. Your cinnamon kind of ball up until you get more ingredients in there. When you get the brown sugar in there, it'll break up and go everywhere. You don't want to beat them too much. Now I'm going to put my brown and white sugar in. 3/4 cup of brown, light domino brown sugar. 1/4 white cane sugar. You can tell that was firmly packed. It came out the shape of the jar. All right, now we're going to whip it up again. You know, there's very few recipes that you can make with brown sugar and eggs that don't call for a little cream, but this is one of them. You don't have to use no cream whatsoever in a pecan pie. Now, chess pie, that's what makes them different. You do have to use cream. You do have to use cream in a chess pie. Now, I'm going to incorporate my maple syrup. Oh, it's good stuff. Maple syrup. We used to make maple syrup when I was a kid. And boy, I can remember going out in the snow and tapping the maple trees. This is up in Fleming County, Kentucky. And we'd tap them trees, and we'd get about a 5-gallon bucket full and boil. Well, we put in about 20 bucketfuls, and they all come down to about a quart of syrup for each 5-gallon bucketful, and maybe quite not that much. I was a kid, I can't really remember. But boy, we'd take that stuff, put on flapjacks that we made right there underneath the shelter where we was boiling it down. And you talk about something good. And we smothered it in butter, and of course that was good old cow butter. We churned it ourselves. and they just wasn't no better eating. And the maple syrup, you can take snow deep enough, get you a good bowl of snow and pour that maple syrup right after it boiled down and pour it onto that snow. And it was just like, wow, nothing better in this world. Now I'm going to add my butter. I'm going to add my vanilla. And I might have forgot to tell you, but this is a Pillsbury ready-made crust. I used to make my own. When I found out that Pillsbury made one just as good as what I can make and a lot cheaper, because you waste a lot of flour every time you make a pie. You have to roll it out in that flour, and you can't reuse nothing else. And I started using them ready-baked pie shells, and I ain't nobody ever know the difference. So I even quit talking about it. I used to make my own pizza crust, baked a lot of bread. I gave my bread baker to my daughter Tiffany, and she used it for a long time. It finally burned out on her, but it was 15 years old when I gave it to her, or 20. But I've been baking quite a bit ever since I retired from the military. Now, when I was in the military, I cooked a lot. Now, I hate to say it, but we're done mixing. That means I can't taste nothing else. Now, I'm going to take and put this right into my pie shell. Now, I don't make any decorations on the outside of my pie shell. You can if you want to. All the people are going to do is eat it. So it don't make no difference. I'm going to pour it right in there just like that. Now I'll tell you all right now, when I put this thing over there in the sink, there ain't going to be no water run on it until I lick that bowl. Ain't nothing tastes better than that mixture right there. Oh, it's looking good already. Now I'm going to double check my recipe, make sure I didn't forget anything. No, we're good. Getting old, you don't ever know. It pays to check yourself. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this I'll put this on my tray with aluminum foil under it in a broiling pan. And then I don't have to worry about it cooking over. If it does, I ain't got no mess to clean up. I just got a little bit of tin foil to throw away and wash my rack. Now I use a 355 on my oven, and it's got to bake for an hour or until it burns up in the middle. So I'm going to pause this camera, and when I come back, well folks, glad to be back with you. Time's almost up on that pie, not quite yet. In fact, I'll probably have to have 5-10 minutes. You bake it for an hour, and you want to make sure that it's just like a chest pie. You want to make sure it's not jiggling in the middle. Now, it can jiggle just a little, wiggle a little bit, but not a jiggle. Not much difference in that, but you'll learn what I mean when you try to make one. But you don't want the soft to be runny, and that's the last part to get, the middle of it is the last part to get done, and you want to make sure that's not jiggling. Now it can move, and as it gets cool, it will solid up, soften texture of it to get firmer, but you don't want it wet or soupy. And you just add, you're not going to burn it, you just add about 5 minutes at a time, and I just watch it pretty close. But now's a good time for you to subscribe and give us a like. Don't cost you anything. You might get a good recipe that you haven't tried before. You never know. It's like fishing. You never know if you're going to get a hit or the bait's going to be good until you throw it in the water. Same way with baking pies. You don't know if you like it until you do it. So try to bake them. It's so simple, you can't make mistakes except for forgetting something. And it's so hard if you forget a little something, it'll still be good. It'll taste good. You won't ruin your. It may not look like what you started out for it to look like, but it'll taste good regardless. All the ingredients it's got in it, it's got to be good. But yeah, give us a subscription if you can. It'll make our channel grow, and we'll get to do a lot more things. You got to have 10,000 people before you can start doing anything, really. I can't even let, as far as I know, let anybody come and advertise while they're watching me on the television or whatever, if you don't get 10,000. So now I might be wrong about that, because like I say, I just go by what I've heard. I think I read that you have to have 10,000. No, maybe it's 1,000. I'm sorry. TikTok was 10,000. But I'm already making money on TikTok, and I don't even like TikTok. But just don't like some of the vulgar things that they have on TikTok. But that's neither here nor there. I can turn them off. And we're going to check this pie again. Still just a little jiggle to it, won't take much more. I'm going to add 5 more minutes to it. We get talking here, I might forget it. And yeah, so far I've only got 58 subscribers. That's a long way from 1,000. But once we get it rolling, we get all the kinks out of it and everything, and we'll start getting some more. You never know when it's going to take off, and get a little something that strikes their fancy, and they'll watch it. But I'm getting so I carry my camera around with me more, and I carry this all the time. I never think to get it out, but if I carry that in my hand, I can, if I see something, an animal doing something fabulous, well, I can take a picture of it. I'm getting ready to build a little rabbit run here in a day or 2 or 3, whatever it is, because my rabbits that my daughter come up and got and is raising on the bottle, they're off the bottle now, and we're getting ready to wean them to the outside. They've been inside, and they need to get out where they can get exercise. So I'm making them about a 50-foot run, or 25-foot run, I'm sorry, and get them out of the box they're in, and make them where they can get away from critters. I'm going to have it rat wire on each side or hardware cloth for 25 foot, and I'll close each end of it off and make a doorway on the end that where they'll stay in their box, and it'd be a right nice little thing. And then when the rabbits get out of it, you can use it on a chicken pen. Just give them some place to get out of that chicken coop. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But give us a like and a subscribe, and it just helps us out tremendously. And we're just good old boys like everybody else. We just try to do something we enjoy, and like I say, trying to, if we never get there, maybe we never will get to where it'll help my grandson pay his college. But if we can just get up to where we can try, it would help me out a lot, because I'm the one who put the bill for him. And I just got one out, and I give him $32,000 for his college, put it in Tom Dupree, and he made some money on it, spent some money, still got some left. And he's using that now to, he's going to his grad school. He's getting his doctorate and his, what do they call it? The one you normally get before you get a doctorate. He's getting them both at the same time. And smart lad. But anyhow, his fiance's going to be a pharmacist. I think she got to go 4 to 6 years to be a pharmacist, but she'll be getting her certification in pharmacy long before he'll be getting anything from what he's doing. Now while he's getting his grad work, he'll be able to do research for the state, for the University of Ohio, and he can make money by doing research, and he takes his training right along with that. So I'm confident he'll be making money, good money, what time he's there. I don't know how much he'll make, but he'll make it. And his wife will make good at the pharmacy, and she's either going to be working at CVS up there, or she's working there now at CVS here. And if they got a program to help her get her certificate for Pharmatech, she'll make more money, but she's got to get that certificate first. It's not required here, but up in Ohio it is. So they might have a program to help her get that. But anyhow, let's check the truck. Well, let me look. Yeah, right on the money, 5 minutes. Let's check it again. That's the way you got to do them. You can't just say it's going to be an hour and that be it. Because, okay now, that's not jiggling now, that's firm. That's a firm shake. Let me get my other cloth here. I want you to look at this. Does that not look good, huh? Oh yeah, but I can't taste this one. I got to give it to her in full tact. I know it's good. I don't have to taste it. We're going to set it over here and let it cool off. And then after it gets so warm, then we can go ahead and set it in the refrigerator. But you got to leave it out let it cool down quite a bit, or defrost make the refrigerator run too much. But anyhow, that's the way you make my pecan pie. And there's several on YouTube that is very basically similar. One that I can tell you about is Welcome to My Table. They're a good old Kentucky boy, I believe, that does that. But anyhow, watch it. You might find. Now, I don't know. I think it's pretty much basically the same recipe. Only thing I use maple syrup. I haven't seen him make one with maple syrup, but he makes a good pie. Now, I like to make whipped cream from scratch. He used Cool Whip on his, but I like to make whipped cream from scratch, and that would be delicious on a pecan pie. And that's the way I eat mine. Now, sometimes I put ice cream on it. But anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed me cooking this pie. I wish I could give you a taste of it, but at least I'll let you smell it. And you know, I wonder how long it'll be before they'll have smell-o-vision. So a lot of times I'll be watching television, they'll have something that I like, and it just seems like it, I can smell it. Especially popcorn. Every time I see a popcorn ad, I feel like I can smell it. I know I can't, but it's just a mental thing, you know. But they might have it one of these days. You can't ever tell. But I'm going to close this one out, and I hope you got the ingredients. Doesn't take much to make it, and just watch this thing over and over until you get all the ingredients down and the times. You want to basically cook it for an hour. That is, if your oven is at 150 is accurate. Now my oven is 5 degrees off. I have to put it on 55 to stay at 150. And that's as hot as you can. I meant 350, I'm sorry. I keep it at 355 because my oven is slightly off. And I use a thermometer to gauge it to make sure that it was right or wrong, and found out it was 5 degrees off. So you have to do that, and that's the reason you can't predict a particular time. Set it for an hour, and at 350, and you might have to go an hour and 10 minutes, or sometimes it might do it in 55 minutes. I always come check mine in 55 minutes because, you know, I was out here when that went off the first time. But I'm going to close this one off. God bless you, and you will if you let him. Give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll be the happiest man you ever seen. Y'all have a good night, and we're going to cut this one off.